Hi and welcome back to FreeEduHub. As you know, we have started a series of lectures on all legacy operating systems starting from Windows 2.1 all the way to Windows Vista. Today the operating system which we are going to talk about is Windows 7. Now keep one thing in mind that Windows 7 was released on 22nd of October 2009 and Microsoft had stopped the support for it on 14th of January 2020. So we can still say that it's a legacy operating system. But it's a successor of Windows XP. It means that people are still using Windows 7 and they are very much comfortable using this operating system. Since it's really stable, it was released in 6 different variants starting from Windows 7 Starter to Windows 7 Home Basic, Windows 7 Home Premium, Windows 7 Professional, Windows 7 Enterprise and the Ultimate version. So what we are going to install today is the ultimate version of Windows 7. So we'll proceed. We are going to give it round about, let's give it 8 GB of RAM for a better performance. Let's press next, no changes here, dynamically allocated. It's required to have 20 GB for a 64-bit operating system, but we are giving it 20 GB of space and we'll create. Now we'll go to the settings and let's modify the settings for the processor. Give it 2 processors here, and for the display also let's give it 128 MB or 164 MB of the memory. For the processor we have selected. For the storage again we'll select the ISO file. So as you can see, we have selected the ISO file. Press OK and start your virtual machine. So as you can see, this is our freshly installed Windows 7. So first thing first, let's try to have the desktop icons. Right click, go to personalize, then go to desktop icons and you can select the icons you want to have on your desktop. Now press OK, and as you can see, they are showing you a message that Windows 7 PC is out of support. And they are even mentioning the date of it, that it has stopped the support on January the 14th 2020, and it's recommended to install the latest version of Windows, which is any later version like Windows 10 or Windows 11. So that's the interface. We have the desktop icons. If you go on the extreme right of the desktop and if you click it, you'll be able to show the desktop icons, like instead of having it on the left hand side of the taskbar, they have moved it on the right. Now if you'll check the computer settings, you can check the device manager over here, with the help of which you can add the drivers for the respective devices that you have. Then you can enable the remote desktop settings, etc. They have modified it a little bit where we can select the users and we can define the remote desktop services for specific users. Now system restore can be modified just like Windows Vista over here. If you click advanced, you can set the performance settings based on your own preferences. And in the other settings that we have, if you'll click on the items on the left hand side, you'll be able to modify the settings. Now let's go to the control panel and have the large icons for that, and you can see all of the settings are almost the same. Instead they have added a backup over here. BitLocker was there in the previous version as well. Now the color management, credential management is quite new over here, where we can manage the saved passwords on our computer. Now display ease of access and then rest of the settings, they have added a tutorial for getting started with Windows 7 over here. Then we have the indexing services after that. Now indexing services helps you in searching the items on the computer. Internet options are there. and then if we have the keyboard and the location and other sensors etc. are added for the devices which requires these kind of services. Then we have the mouse and network settings which are quite normal, which were there in the previous versions of Windows. Now Program Manager has been modified a little bit, where we can see all the installed programs, and we can add or remove the Windows features from here. We can even add and remove IIS in this feature, where we can run a IIS server on our computer with the same add remove features. If we'll uncheck the games and press OK, it would remove the games feature from the computer. Now here you can see the list of installed updates on the computer. If you want to install any specific update, you can do it from there. Now in the control panel again, we have speech recognition. Rest of the things are almost the same. They have added Windows Defender over here, which later continued as the full-fledged antivirus solution, which is still coming in Windows 10 and Windows 11. And then they have modified the Windows Update, with the help of which you can easily modify or install the updates on your computer. In the start, but before going to the start, let's go to Internet Explorer and see what's there in this version. Internet Explorer was modified in this, but with the latest releases of the service packs, it automatically started detecting the Microsoft Edge browser as well. So if we'll go to the settings and we'll try to click on about, I think let it load for a minute. Yes, now you can see the previous version was Internet Explorer 11, which came in pre-installed with this version of Windows, but it's even telling you that now Microsoft Edge is available, so it's recommended that you can update it to the latest version. So this kind of support is still available for this operating system, which is end of support by the Microsoft. It means that we won't be receiving any security updates for the operating system. They have modified the Windows Media Player here as well, quite advanced, where we can modify the settings and play the features or the podcasts online. Now that's the basic interface of it. They have added the notification area over here, which we still see in Windows 10 in a very advanced form. It is telling us the basic problems or the possible solutions for those problems over here. So it's just suggesting you that you can do these changes to the computer. Now if we'll click start, and we can see the snipping tool is appearing over here. Then we have the sticky notes which will help us in reminding certain things. Rest of the options are almost the same, but if we'll click on the MS Paint, you can see that it's a really advanced version of the MS Paint as we saw in Windows 98 and Vista, but they have really modified it in this version of Windows. The magnifier is still there, with the help of which we can magnify the items or the items on the desktop. We have the same items as pictures, documents, and other things, games, etc., which were there in Windows Vista as well. Now help and support is there, and then we can have the default programs which we want to choose. Now here in the accessories we have command prompt appearing, and you can see the calculator has been modified as well. Now let's go to the accessories once again, and we'll see that the command prompt is there. Then we have the option to connect to the projector. Magnifier is there. Notepad is still the same. We have checked MS Paint already. Then we have remote desktop services, and run is there, snipping tool, sticky notes, and WordPad. Now WordPad in this one has been modified quite a bit, which is a replacement of Microsoft Word. So if you don't have it installed on your computer, you can use WordPad for basic modification of documents, but the extension of this WordPad is RTF, which is rich text format. Now in accessories further, if we'll go to ease of access, these are only the narrators and the magnifier, etc. In system tools, we have things like disk cleanup, disk defragmenter, etc. Then we have the system restore and disk recovery, etc. Basic features which are part of the latest operating systems as well. Now rest of the things are here almost the same as they were there. Now a very powerful feature which was introduced in Windows 7 was PowerShell. Now PowerShell comes in loaded with commandlets, and it's much more powerful than a normal command prompt, and we were able to perform lots of operations in this one, and it's still continuing in Windows 10 and Windows 11. Now the games which came in pre-installed with the Windows, as you can see, we removed it earlier, so we'll see only 1 or 2 games over here. So since we removed it as for the display purposes, they are not appearing over here. Then we have the basic features over here like Windows remote assistance, etc., with the help of which, if we want to get help from anyone on our network, we can simply send them an invite and they can remotely access the computer, and you can see what changes they are making to the computer. Mostly Microsoft is providing support with this remote assistance. In startup services there is nothing at the moment, and if there are any services, they'll be listed over there. Now if we'll click start again and if we'll check the command prompt or the services which were there, so if we'll try msconfig, yes, it's still there, with the help of which we can run or stop certain services. Now in msconfig, for example, if we'll write services.msc, it would open the preloaded services on Windows which we can start and stop ourselves if we want to. Or if we'll try, for example, try something else like GP edit, group policy editing tool, which helps us in editing the policies on the computers. It's still there and quite advanced. Now that's about the overall operating system. If you click on it, you can still see the switch user option appearing over here, and you can log off the computer or simply lock. So that's pretty much about this operating system. I hope you liked it. So we'll press just shut down to shut down the machine. Have a nice day. Take care.